Twinkle, twinkle, little star,
He's alive!
Welcome to Where the Weird Ones Are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is Conspiracy Tuesday number 5. I can't believe I am on the 5th installment of my Conspiracy Tuesdays. The fact that I am able to get so many like-minded people, even if it's a little bit different minded, just to talk about these topics. And today I have a couple really good guests that I enjoy talking to, not only in this space but in every day. So without further ado, I will allow them the time to introduce themselves and where you can find them. So we'll start with Dayvid.
Hey everybody, I'm Dayvid from Down the Rabbit Hole. I have an Instagram and a Facebook account called Down the Rabbit Hole. I also have DeeperDown shop. It's DeeperDown.store. I'm the co-host of One Nothing podcast with Amanda down here. And yeah, look for me. I also have subscriptions, so definitely subscribe. I have 2 subscribers right here. Hopefully a third one soon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so go check his shit out. Like he said, deeperdown.store or etsy.com/shop/deeperdown. He's got a lot of really cool stuff. If you have been watching the video aspect of this show, I wear his hoodie every once in a while. It's the red one with the with his logo on it. So go check that out. He's a good friend and he's worth following. I promise you that. And another guest that I have on today, she's been on quite a few of my Conspiracy Tuesdays already, and hopefully she will be on for more. And I can't wait to meet her and her husband when I go down to Florida in a couple weeks. So without further ado, Jen.
Hey guys, and so my name is Jen. Our social media is 305 Paranormal on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And my husband's Instagram is Mr. 305 Paranormal, and you can catch us on there. And we are excited to meet you. So I'm excited, and thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. This show wouldn't be much of a show if I didn't have people like you guys to come on and talk shit with. So, I mean, I'd just be talking to myself, and I don't know if that'd be all that entertaining. So,
You and the skeleton back there.
Frank's a good guy. I just wish actually, I think his mouth does move. I can make him talk. I could do like ventriloquism or some shit. I don't know. But and my last guest, she has an amazing podcast. Just like Dayvid said, he's co-hosting over there, One Nothing podcast. So I really enjoy it. I actually get really irritated sometimes because she does bi-weekly, and I'll go look for her show and I'll be like, what the fuck? I have to wait another week. God damn it. So without further ado, Miss Amanda.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Dayvid and I do One Nothing together. It's pretty sick. We got some really cool stuff coming out. So go follow us on all the socials. We are on all the podcast platforms. So if you like hearing about how people die, come check us out.
Nice. So today's main topic is weather warfare. I hope you all enjoy today's episode. And with that being said, just like, share, follow, do all that shit for all three of us. That would be fantastic. And leave a review or a rating, 5 stars preferably. But obviously, if you don't like the fucking show, then don't give me 5 stars. So, anyways, I hope you have a good day. Stay weird. Yo, you like crystals? Do you like healing crystals? Do you like candles? Are you into energy healing and cleansing your mind, body, and soul? Bro, head on over to etsy.com/shop/healwithKristina. You won't be disappointed. I promise you. She's got amazing handcrafted crystals, custom made, some of them. So you should definitely check her out. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing friend. All she wants to do is help people. She wants to heal people. And she's just here, just shining her light. And it's fucking bright. It's a bright ass light. So, again, if you're into healing crystals and whatnot, you're spiritual, you got to go check her store out. Again, that's etsy.com/shop/healwithKristina. Upon checkout, enter the coupon code WEIRD125. You get 25% off. So please show her some love and check her out. She goes by HealWithKristina on Instagram, so you can connect with her there too. So, yeah. Check it out. Hey, you having a hard time, or maybe you're having a good time, and you just need a psychic reading, or maybe you need something for graphic design, like you're starting a business, you're starting a podcast of some kind. Well, I implore you to visit www.thefineartmedium.com. There you'll find her portfolio, her blog, her readings, viewer interactions, and all that. She has her bachelor degree in sociology of social deviance, which she says is pretty much like criminology, just without the law. She received that degree from the University of Pennsylvania in 2015. First of all, I just want to say she is phenomenal. She's a good person, and I implore you to go check her out. For reading, you need something graphic design. She's the one that's working on my comic book, so please go check her out. And if you need anything, please use her. Go through her. She's very easy to reach. You can find her on Instagram at The Fine Art Medium. Her name is Emily Leto. So please check her out if you need any of those such things. So, with that being said, have a good day. www.DeeperDown.store. That's where you want to go if you want a hoodie like this. I don't know if you can see it that well. Hold on, I'll show you. If you're just listening to the audio, it's down the rabbit hole. So, if you're watching the video, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is my hoodie. I got it from Dayvid, who is _ down the dot rabbit hole _ He has a merch store, so go please fucking check that out. He's got a whole bunch of cool shit, cool designs. So if you need a hoodie, you need any kind of threads, please go check it out. He's a good friend of the show, and he's co-hosting over at One Nothing podcast for a couple episodes, so go check those episodes out. And please show him some love and some support. He's got a lot of cool shit in his store, so go check that shit out. Also, if you do decide that you want something from his shop, you can use my code Kevin's Weird 18. You get 18% off of your purchase. So however much shit that you want to get, the better it is for you to get more than just one thing with the coupon. So please go show him some love, show him some support. He's doing amazing shit. If you're not following him on Instagram, you probably should. So do that. All right, everybody. That's www.deeperdown.store. What's up, everybody? How's the weather where you're at? Don't all talk at once.
Oh, us? It's hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Hot. It's
Yeah,
warm.
It's too damn hot. Yeah. In
Okay.
San Antonio. Too damn hot.
It's pretty hot up here too, which actually is weird because it's been relatively chilly and I've been wearing my hoodie outside, and then today I'm like, I can't do this. Well, I can do this. I'm just like, all right, today's shorts and a t-shirt. No hoodies today for me or pants. So have you guys ever heard the term "make mud, not war"?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Operation Popeye.
Operation Popeye. In the late 60s, during the Vietnam War, that's when they started doing specific weather warfare because they wanted to extend the monsoon to help protect U.S. soldiers. I think we were technically in Vietnam for the poppy seeds anyway, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But so weather warfare has been a thing since the 40s. Did you know that?
I did.
So the first cloud seeding was in 1946, and the first ever actual weather modification was started in 1948. So they've been, our government, other governments, China's super big on weather modification. And the opposite of cloud seeding is inadvertent suppression of precipitation, so to dry up shit, like if the rain's too long or blah 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 blah. So this has long been like a conspiracy theory, but it has been proven fact like years and years ago. But people still don't understand that like when you see the jets in the sky and they have these long trails, that's cloud seeding. They're making clouds and sometimes it's for rain, sometimes it's just to have coverage. I haven't really like gotten into it, but I do believe Amanda knows they put the chemtrails is they have like metal particles in them, so we're breathing in technically metal. Do you remember that blizzard in 2021, I think, in Texas?
Oh yeah, the big one that killed a lot of people from electricity going out. Yeah.
I remember
That
it.
was so weird.
Did you ever see any videos of people putting the snow in their microwave?
Oh, and it was sparking. I remember that.
Yeah, it like
was
killed their
sparking.
microwaves, and it's because they were trying to melt the snow for whatever reason, but the microwave started malfunctioning, and its metal was inside the snow. So
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Did any of you try that? Did you try that? You're down there in Texas, right? Or no?
No, I didn't try it. But it did snow a lot, it's super unusual for San Antonio for it to snow.
Yeah.
And we lost power because our grid here in Texas is shit, essentially. And it just went down. And so we were stuck for days and days and days where we would have to wait till the afternoon, sometime around 4 or 5, and have maybe 10 minutes of power, and then it would go back out for the whole damn night. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So I think a lot of like their weather modification or weather warfare, however you want to phrase it, I believe a lot of it is done for like the purpose of population control, just like a certain thing that happened in 2020 that I'm not going to say out loud because I'll get kicked off of YouTube for it. So I think that was done on purpose. I mean, you hear all these guys like in the WHO, like Klaus Schwab, fucking Bill Gates. If we do a really good job between vaccines and healthcare, we can decrease the population by half by 2030 or 2050. I think
he
it
wants
was.
to do the whole blocking the sun thing. I forget what it's called for him.
Yeah. Yes.
But the Mr. Burns thing from The Simpsons?
Yes, exactly that. Actually.
Wow.
Yeah. He's not of sound mind. These people are fucking crazy. And another thing is, so we just had the Maui and Hawaii just had these fucking fires, right? So this is where I get fucking fired up, because we got fucking billions and billions of dollars going to fucking Ukraine, and then these fucking people that just had a catastrophic event happen to their homes. They fucking don't have anywhere to go. Half of them fucking died, and we got billions of dollars going to fucking Ukraine, and they get 700 per household. I think that's I think that is a crime in itself, first of all. Second of all, I get really irritated when I see fucking Ukraine flags on people's properties and no American flag. That pisses me off, mainly because you're from America. Why? I mean, that's a whole different thing. But and then they're talking about this fucking COVID coming back, and they're gonna start doing lockdowns in fucking October. First of all, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not gonna fucking comply this time, because this is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I was starting to get fucking pissed off just talking. But they have energy weapons on the island of Hawaii, on one of the islands. There's actually, I think it's Maui, actually has a facility for energy weapons, and blue doesn't burn. Okay. Yeah. And if you've noticed, if you ever watched anything in Maui, or seen videos, what isn't fucking, you see shit all around, things that are blue that are fucking burnt to the ground, that are melted and shit, but anything that's blue is not.
Yeah, I saw that.
So in October 18th of 2020, they were doing like this, 2022, sorry. They did an article on interior design or whatever, and they showed all these properties with blue roofs, and people were like, what the fuck, what's up with a blue roof? Also, China has been as far back as, I think it was the beginning of this year, all of a sudden they started having blue roofs, blue tin roofs.
Really?
So October 18th, 2022, blue roofs in Maui start popping up. And who has blue roofs? The Obamas, the Clintons, Ellen DeGeneres, Chrissy Teigen, Oprah. Kid Rock, Oprah Winfrey, Mick Fleetwood, which I don't even know who the fuck that guy is. Owen
Mac,
Wilson.
Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
Fleetwood
yes.
Mac.
Yes, you're right. Owen Wilson, Jeff Bezos, Steven Tyler, and Clint Eastwood all have blue roofs. And they just got them like last year or so.
Like quick.
Yeah. And so then this happens, and then everything that's blue doesn't burn.
Yeah.
And what else did I fucking write down here? January 28th of this year, when the spy balloon was in every fucking media outlet, Hawaii posted a picture of green lasers coming from the fucking sky onto the island. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then China comes out and is like, oh, we were just measuring for pollutants in geography and blah, 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 blah. When China's the biggest polluter in the fucking world.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
why are they even measure the pollutants in your fucking country before you measure anywhere else? What the fuck?
I can't believe they would admit to that too. That kind of caught me by surprise, that they would come out and say, oh yeah, no, it's no big deal. We're just measuring for pollutants. That's all.
Yeah.
No biggie.
It's the fucking weirdest thing. And then,
but you know who also did that too, though?
Who?
Now, the military in Hawaii also, they did the same thing after the fact. First it was China, and then after the spy balloons, and then after that in April, they had a news report saying that not to worry if you see the green lasers in the sky, because it was contracted aircraft doing the same thing, light detection, and to measure, I don't know, whatever the hell they're measuring.
Yeah.
People think they're graphing the land for what? What do you
Yeah.
think?
If they think they're graphing it, it would be for like maps or like AI maps or something, some bullshit like that. But I'll tell you this, like climateviewer.com, I think it is. It's a website that's run by Jim Lee. This guy Jim Lee, I believe is his name. He's from either South or North Carolina, but and I do believe he has his own podcast and shit. And he's used to work for he used to be one of the anonymous people where he hacked shit all the time. Like he's super smart dude, super intelligent, and he's been on a few podcasts lately talking about Maui. So supposedly, the wind goes in a certain direction over those islands, and when the fire started, they were doing the opposite. The wind was going in the opposite direction that would help fuel a fire. So like the wind going this way, and then the wind going one way, it like might have put the fire out maybe, but oxygen also feeds the fire. So any wind I feel like would just like doesn't matter. But for something he was saying, like it's just the direction of the wind is completely different than a natural thing for that area. And so there's melted aluminum. Do you know how hot it has to be to melt aluminum, like off of cars and shit? It has to be 1,220 degrees. The weird thing about that is that the roads seem fine when asphalt melts at fucking 343 degrees.
Right.
So that's also interesting to me.
Yeah, how if you're gonna melt aluminum off of a vehicle and it falls onto the asphalt, wouldn't the asphalt also fall apart, melt, whatever?
Right.
Yeah. So
that's what I
something
would
very
think.
strange is happening there.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. It gives me more questions than it gives me answers.
Exactly. Exactly.
What else was there? They shut the fucking water off. There was a homeowner that was literally like in the middle of spraying his property with a hose, and the water just stops. Which, I mean, I guess if the island is on fire and shit, it could have affected that. But they literally admitted that they shut the water off.
Okay.
Another interesting thing, they called off fucking school that day. Kids were home, parents were at work. Shit ton of kids died.
I don't understand that. Like, why would they leave their, I don't know. If they had no school, like who's gonna be here with the kids? And these are small kids that can't take care of themselves or do anything. They all result in dying.
Yeah.
Like, why are you guys at work? I don't get it.
I don't know.
What was the excuse for the school being shut down?
They
have some excuse.
They haven't said. I haven't heard anything from them.
Yeah, I haven't heard
didn't hear
anything
anything
either.
about
They
that.
just randomly was like, oh hey, no school today.
Yeah.
And then the fires like caught everybody off guard. It's so off guard that people were jumping into the ocean to get away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
A mile a minute, the fire was spreading.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. And then Amanda, if you don't mind like talking about that hurricane that fucking, what was it, Ian?
Yes, Hurricane Ian.
Florida up that
Yeah.
you talked about it the last time you were on, but
Yeah,
just touch on it again if you don't mind.
Absolutely. And I also want to apologize for stepping away and explain myself. My cat knocked over my hamster's enclosure, so we're doing this together right now. I just turned around and he was on the floor. So I was like, oh, let me go deal with that real quick. So yeah.
What's your hamster's name?
So I thought it was a boy. Turns out it's a girl, but her name is Jafar, the little Disney villain.
I love that.
Yeah, she came from a home where she was biting the kids, so I was like, that's my kind of hamster. So not the biting the kids part, but anyway. So yeah, Hurricane Ian. So I moved down here very beginning of 2021, and I'd not been through a hurricane. I've been coming down here and seeing the damage from hurricanes my whole life. but I had not really been through one. So I was kind of excited when we got news that there was like a tropical depression and it had like 6 different paths of where it could go. And one of the paths was going to be going, directly here. So I was kind of excited because it was a phenomenon I'd always wanted to kind of witness. And so I was paying really special attention the whole 10 days that it was tracked. And it has like all these, they're called spaghetti noodle forecasts, but it's basically predictions of what way the storm can go. And what they do is that they take into account all of the possible paths, and then they kind of narrow down where all of the, like where the majority of the paths are going, that's probably where it's going to go. And that's how they kind of determine where a storm's path is going to go, is by these spaghetti noodles. So these spaghetti noodle forecasts come out, one strand out of like 40 makes its way over here. One strand. Very unlikely that that's going to follow that one strand when all the rest are going north to Tampa and all that. So it's predicted to be like a Cat 1, Cat 2. And I'm real excited because it's supposed to skirt past us. And I'm like, we'll get some wind, we'll get some rain. I was really pumped. And they kept going on the news. It's going to hit Tampa. It's going to hit Tampa. Probably 2 days before the like landfall, they come out with like, I guess it was, I think the mayor, someone came out, the Weather Channel played this interview, and it was this some politician, probably a freaking governor, who knows. And he, in a very somber voice, is like, ladies and gentlemen, we're preparing for what's going to be a catastrophic, record-breaking storm. And if you are in the vicinity to where you're going to get hit, you need to leave right now. And so everyone's freaking out about Tampa getting hit. They're 2 hours north of me. So I'm like, okay, like 2 hours north of me, we're going to get some outer bands. We're not going to get the eye, which is where the most powerful part of the storm is. So I'm not worried about it. I'm like driving distance half hour from the coast, but I'm like 10 miles from the coast. This just takes longer to drive there. So everything's going fine. Bewildering for me because everybody's panic buying. You can't get lumber, you can't get water, you can't get gas or propane. Gas stations are closing and putting signs on their doors that they're out of gas. They don't have anything left. Everybody's pulling out cash because the cards are going to be down once the electricity goes out. So everybody's panic buying and like buying bulk of everything. So impossible. You still good? Okay, he's sleeping. Sorry, checking on my hammy. He had a tumble. So everyone's just panic buying and being crazy. And I'm still just like, whatever, like, everybody's doing that because they're from up north or whatever. So, the day before, 12 hours before, it was like 9 p.m. the night before, they come over and they say, by the way, it's a Cat 4 on pace to be a Cat 5, which is the strongest hurricane. And oh, by the way, predicted direct hit on Cape Coral, which is my fucking city. So, of course, with 12 hours, like the way my city is structured, we're basically waterlocked on 3 sides. We're like if you can think of like a triangle, north half of the triangle is just wildlands. There's no roads. There's no, there's no houses. It's just like thick brush of Florida natural wild. To the left of me is the ocean. To the right of me is the Caloosahatchee River. We have one highway that takes me out of the city to get anywhere. And there's 2 bridges that take me out of where I'm like basically locked in by all of these natural things. So 12 hours to go, one highway out of the city. I'm not even going to try to get out because it's going to be a parking lot. Everybody's going to be trying to evacuate. With 12 hours, you're going to be sitting there. People are going to run out of gas and you can't get gas. So I'm like, the best thing I can do with this much notice, and considering I have my pets with me, is just pray for the best and batten down the hatches. And it made landfall around 9 that morning. I went outside and I was outside for the first winds, and it was impressive. I was like, okay, cool. Hadn't seen anything. For 12 hours, that storm sat on top of my city and just wreaked complete destruction over Lee County. And Fort Myers Beach was underwater. Most of my city was underwater. I-75, the only highway, underwater. People died trying to get out of the city. There were bodies lined up. FEMA was literally building tents to store bodies in on Fort Myers Beach, and none of this was hitting like the news. Like, people heard that it was devastating, but they didn't know to what degree. And to this day, it's said that there's only 140 bodies. I have a friend that's a police officer that worked the front lines in Fort Myers Beach. There was way more than 140 bodies. Then to find out later, the governor knew for 28 hours that it was predicted to hit Cape Coral, and he sat on an information until 12 hours before. So, and that's like a public record. He came out and acknowledged that he knew and didn't say anything. And then he said he didn't want to cause a global panic and blah, blah, blah. But wouldn't it be better to cause a panic 24 hours before than 12 hours before?
Yeah. Yes. Or
And
planning.
destruction. And like, luckily, thankfully, I didn't lose much. I had a window blown out of my house. My car was fine. My house was fine. My animals were fine. Tornadoes struck down all around here. 2 blocks down the road from me was underwater, like 3 feet underwater. People were canoeing in the streets and kayaking in the streets. There were sharks swimming down the streets. Like, it was just like nothing you'd ever seen. And then for the 14 days that followed, we had no power, no water. For a lot of residents, they were out much longer. Like, there was some people that took 2 or 3 months to get power and water restored. It was like nothing I'd ever lived before. Like, you turn on the radio and you could flip through any radio station, any local radio station. They weren't playing music. They were playing Bible prayers. They were playing, here's where to go to get water. Here's where to go to get ice. Here's where to go to get gas for your generators. You drove down the street. All you heard was the electric hum of people's generators running. It was just like, it was like stepping into a third world country for a while. And to this day, guys, I did not see a Red Cross vehicle anywhere in this area the whole time. They said they were down here. We had electricians from 30 states down here helping to repair our electricity and get it back up, because like whole cities, all of their poles and everything were knocked down. So they were like rebuilding the infrastructure. I did not see a single Red Cross vehicle or a Red Cross person. And I'm one of those people who, they do these things after disasters where at churches, you basically line up in your car and it takes you like 4 hours and you waste a bunch of gas. But these people that, God bless their hearts, they open the back of your car and they put in like canned food and like military like rationing meals, like the shit that you have to hydrate with chemicals and heat up in a bowl. And we had to live off that shit because your fridge and freezer, your food goes bad in 2 days with no power. So you have no food, you have no way to cook anything. Your canned goods go out pretty quick. It was just crazy to see the level of devastation and the fact that it wasn't being reported, and that the governor sat on that information, and he's responsible for a lot of people that died.
It's terrible. That is terrible. So I think they have admitted to, I can't remember the chemical that they throw into the eye of hurricanes, but like the point of it is very like I guess good, like the whole point of trying to steer it. But the thing about nature is that you can't control nature. It's gonna to do what nature does, you know what I mean? So they try and steer a lot of these hurricanes and take them off the path that they're supposed to go, and then 9 times out of 10 it ends up circling back and causing way more damage than it would have to begin with.
Well, and when are they doing that?
What's that?
When are they doing that? That whole like, because I've never heard of that they put the chemical inside like the eye. Like, when are they doing that? Is it that?
It's like when it's still over the ocean, I believe, but I can't remember. It's like it's like a carbon something or other. It's like this black shit that they throw in with, I think they use jets, so like almost basically cloud seeding. I don't know, but they try. It's supposed to like disrupt the current of the fucking wind, so the fucking wind I freaking looked this up, and I didn't write it down because I was like, I'll fucking remember that's the weirdest fucking thing. And now that we're fucking talking about it, I'm like, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that's when they supposedly measure the winds inside.
Yeah, when they send a plane right into the eye.
Yeah.
Do that, right? A special plane that does that. Maybe that's when they're dropping the chemical.
That's exactly, because I've never heard of that, and now I'm thinking that's the only time, because you always hear, I find that crazy that a plane will go in there in the first place, because I live in Miami, so I'm used to hurricanes and all that shit all my life. So I've always thought that was like a little nuts.
Yes.
So now I'm thinking like that's when that happens, and then who knows what like what damage or more that could do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make it crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that every fucking hurricane or every like catastrophic event is due to weather warfare or weather modification of any kind. I'm just saying that they do it, and catastrophic events tend to happen after they do it.
Yeah.
And if I can point out, I don't want to, before we get off topic from the conversation, I just want to point out too that like there's a lot of incentive to want to wipe out Fort Myers Beach before, because it's a very highly sought after, it's a hot spot. It was very old towny. People that lived there were houses that had been there for a long time or old businesses that were doing really well. And guess what they just put up?
Margaritaville.
And guess what all these investors are doing? They're swooping in and buying up all these properties of these people who've died and lost their homes so they can build up another little Miami Beach. So there's money to be had. So like it makes a lot of sense. Like if I were an evil like politician and I'm like, what's the easiest way to clear off this island so I can make a bunch of money off of getting people on here, kill everybody that lives there.
And
you know, like it's just there's so much incentive to want to do something like that. It just makes me so upset because like these are people that I know. These are places I've been going to my whole life. And some of these memories I have, like they don't exist anymore. Like there's slabs of cement on the ground. Like the ocean literally sucked out the whole island, building and all. It's just wild to drive down there and be like, these are memories I grew up on the street and I don't recognize it, you know?
Yeah, it was crazy. That's what was going on in Maui. They have a contract for a smart city, and they're trying to talk to these people that live in these houses that miraculously randomly burnt down about, you know, moving out there, trying to offer them money and shit because they're trying to build this smart city. And then everybody that they're trying to evict essentially are the people that, you know, lost their homes in the fire. So and then it's just like in Oprah's property, the road that went right through, like right by her fucking $1 billion house. Yeah, untouched. But the road that used to go right down in front of her house used to be a public road. And then what happened? A fire a few years ago. I think it was like 2019. There was a fucking fire that fucked up the road. They rebuilt the road as a private road for her house. So that struck me odd. It was very funny to hear that. And then what do you think about her and The Rock? The video of her and The Rock.
I just saw that video. Yeah.
Fundraiser. What do you think? What do you guys think about that?
You put in money, then I'll put in money.
I haven't heard that.
No?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So basically, a multimillionaire and a multi-billionaire are sitting here asking us common folk who are trying to get by with our own lives for money for people in Maui, which, I mean, if I can find a legitimate fundraiser for the people in Maui, I would totally do it. If I was a multimillionaire, I'd give all the money that I don't fucking need. But I mean, that's just me, and everybody's different. But
so would you give money to their little thing? Because it says it goes directly to the people. Remember that?
It
goes
doesn't.
Directly to them.
There's a bank that holds that fucking money. It doesn't go directly to anybody.
And
but
they always
that bank.
They always keep a percentage.
That was my first feeling was that, yeah, right, it goes directly to those people. Come on, man.
It's a non-profit organization, but the majority of people the people that in this organization make over 200,000 a year. So it's pretty kind of interesting. But there are people, there are people that don't make money out of that, and that would probably be like the regular volunteers and shit like that.
And the Maui victims, apparently.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. They every day the people in Maui are coming out with other information, and I find it interesting that they got the what was it, the disaster chief of police or whatever, something, I can't remember his title, but he comes out and he seems to be like a crisis actor because he was there for the mass shooting in Nevada, Las Vegas, for that country music concert. I think it was like 2016 or something.
No, when that happened, like when the whole fire happened and then everybody saw that it was the same guy, like he got a lot of shit online.
He did. He got questioned hard when he showed up on that island too.
Yeah.
It was hilarious because people are starting to fucking wake up. And the funny thing about The Rock and the Oprah fucking thing is that everybody fucking commenting on that video being like, yo, this is bullshit. You guys are fucking bullshit. This is stupid. This is like, we see right through you. Everybody on there was left and right. They were liberals, they were conservatives, they were fucking back fucking country people, they were fucking business executives, like city people. Everybody's fucking like, look, we see fucking through you. Like I feel like the Great Awakening is really like right now, and people are really starting to see through a lot of this bullshit that it gets pumped through, number one, our media, but from all these fucking Hollywood people that are so out of touch with everything. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so you remember when this pipeline, I can't remember what pipeline it was, but you remember when that blew up, and they were saying that Russia blew it. It was a Russian pipeline, and they were like, oh, Russian did it.
Yes.
Well, like last year or a year later, or it might have came out this year.
I think it was this year that came out.
Yeah, it came out. So it was like a month ago. Biden ordered that to be for that pipeline to be blown. They come out, they tell you that he ordered that just as they start talking about aliens. Now, like they say, and then everybody got distracted by aliens, and not a lot of people know about.
Nobody talked about it, right?
Yeah, and it was the media went crazy on the fucking alien thing, and the Biden fucking blowing up a pipeline just went away. And that's what
like the whole JFK thing. Like, yeah, CIA did it. Okay, well now this, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's très bizarre. Très bizarre.
Yeah. What and was it a pipeline that was in Russia, or is it a pipeline coming over to Alaska, or what are we talking about here?
I believe it was on American soil.
Okay.
But I just remember reading the article saying that. And
if it's in American soil and Russia blew it up, that's grounds for war.
Well,
the only one that I know of that I can think of that Biden stopped was the Keystone pipeline, but he didn't blow it up, and there was a good reason for stopping it. I'm not a Biden person, but there was valid reason environmentally for stopping that. But I'm not familiar with the one that you're speaking of about Russia blowing it up.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that either. But I stopped watching the news. Like,
I don't.
COVID, the whole COVID time, I was like,
source of info.
Yeah,
I don't with the news, man.
I don't watch the news either. I try to look up articles. Like when I hear somebody say something, I'll be like, oh, let me look that up. You know what I mean? So when I heard that this Biden had ordered a pipeline to be blown, I was like, what?
What? It was Russia's.
Like what? Why didn't he order it? What?
Russia's Nord Stream pipeline.
Nord Stream. There we go. Yep. And that was where?
Is that, I guess, Russia?
In Russia.
It's in Russia. Oh, okay.
So if it was in Russia, blow it the fuck up. Yes, I'm down for that. They're the enemy, man. They want to separate us. They want to break us apart. Blow their pipeline.
Are you sure it's Russia that wants to separate us?
Trying to look it up.
Because I think our own government wants to keep us separated and to fuck with us, to be honest.
Think so?
Yes. I mean,
I think it's easier to manipulate us and get to break down this country if because you've heard of all the Russian bots and Twitter, you've heard of all the Chinese hacks, and they're trying to say, you know, they're making these little bots to say, you know, white people and black people hate each other. You know, they're trying to get us to fight. And they know that if they separate the two groups, if they separate Republicans and Democrats to fight each other and hate each other, then we'll be easier. It's like divide and conquer type thing.
Yes.
They know they can't beat us when we're together. They know they can't beat us.
Yeah. And that's exactly why not only do I think that our government is doing it, I do believe, obviously we know that now from the Twitter files and everything, all these Russian bots and shit like that. We now know that. We know China has had fucking police stations on American soil that we're starting to come into have knowledge about, and it's starting to get broken up and shit, which that in itself is fucking weird.
Yeah, because they buy property. Like these rich Chinese, you know, millionaires and billionaires buy property in the United States.
Yeah.
They don't even need
Crazy.
to do that. They can send a balloon and it takes 3,000 miles before we realize it's over our freaking country. Like, come on.
That's
Where's
why
the
I don't think it
security?
was a China balloon. I think all of our
Yeah.
I think all the governments are working together. Honestly, I think they
One
are
world government.
actually working. Yeah, and I think our government is solely focused on dividing us through our media, because they had that vote like in 2021 or 2022. I can't exactly remember. It was either last year or the year before. They were going to vote to give away our medical sovereignty to the WHO. And if they had, I don't believe that they voted in favor for it, but they wanted to.
I'm surprised they didn't, because I was very worried about that.
But listen, if they did vote that, I wouldn't be here today, because I would have.
Yeah, but where do you go, Kevin? Where do you go?
I would have done click clack them motherfuckers.
Man.
And another thing is, why do we have people in Congress that are fucking over 80 years old? There's a woman, I can't remember, I think she's a Congress.
Feinstein.
Yeah,
Yes.
she had to give her power of attorney away, but she is still in the government making decisions for our fucking country, but she can't even make decisions for her own fucking life.
He looks like Death Becomes Her. Have you ever seen?
I mean,
that
look
movie?
at Mitch McConnell, man. He's powering off on his own. It's getting
No,
kind of
and then
bizarre.
to his doctors on Friday, he's okay. Like,
He
no,
don't
he's
look okay, dude. This is twice this happened. You know what I'm saying? He
twice
does not look
on
okay.
camera. How
Uh-huh.
many times behind closed doors where nobody
Exactly.
Mm.
Ugh. Minority whip, man. He's
But I'm pretty sure.
he's in charge, so it's just
Yeah.
craziness.
Dude,
One thing I wanted to bring up,
Yep.
really quick, because I'll forget. There was some video I was looking at about, like the green lasers we were talking about.
Yep.
Right. So some people were saying in the comments that the same beams of light, like the green lasers, were seen, and I think people might have caught them on camera, were seen in Oregon during the 2019 and 2020 fires prior to that happening.
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
And maybe California also.
Yes.
So.
I'm not debating. I do think that that's a very strong possibility, but I do want to also acknowledge that they're in Antarctica. They do have green lasers that are used for measuring the density of like the crystals, like hydrogen crystals in the atmosphere. And they actually did a video breaking down how it works and showing you the equipment they use. So I don't believe that. I think both are true. I think that there can be a laser that can cause fires, but I also want to acknowledge that people listening don't think that we're not accounting for that.
Yes.
That is a thing as well.
Yeah,
Well,
but like,
I don't think the green
what I'm just
lasers
saying is, like,
are
why
the...
does that happen and then something else happen?
Right.
Yeah, it
That's
is
it.
weird. Yeah.
Right. I don't think the green lasers are what's causing the fire. I think the energy weapon laser is causing the fire. I think these green lasers are still measuring like what they like in art. Bleh. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I do think that they're still using that to fucking do what it's supposed to do, but I think like they're just like, I don't know how to the words to say, like using that to prepare for it.
Yeah, I guess measuring hydrogen in the air would be useful if you're trying to start a fire too. So
yeah,
it's not impossible that they wouldn't use that in conjunction to be like, are the conditions right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
solid point.
There's a lot of oddities going on, and I just hope people like realize because people are being celebrated for their differences. This has nothing to do with weather warfare or anything like that. This just has to do with us as a community, as people, as the human race. People are being celebrated for their uniqueness and differences, which, granted, you being unique and different is totally fine. You don't have to be the same as anybody else, but I think we should celebrate our similarities more than we celebrate our differences. And I think that is a path for us to come more together as a human race, is by, just celebrating our similarities, because 9 times out of 10, like the 4 of us, I can guarantee you we all have similar life experiences that we can connect with each other and understand each other a little bit more on that. I think we all have a little bit of different political views, but in all in all, I think regardless of differential opinions, I think we can still co-inhabit this earth and be one and be united. So I don't know. It's just
I agree with that.
a little
Completely
thing that I
agree with
wanted
that.
to say today.
Yeah, you couldn't said it any better. That's we need to come together, especially as a country. And I'm not including our government or anything like that. I
Mhm.
think the people need to come together for sure. No matter what side you're on, no matter what you believe, you know what I'm saying? It's time to, like you said before, wake up.
Yeah.
Time to get up.
Yeah, you can love your country and still dislike your government. So
Yeah.
100%.
And I do love this country. I just want to say, I love this country.
I do too.
Put
And
that out there.
Yeah. I think
love what it's supposed to represent. I'm getting further away from having faith that we're headed in any kind of
well, I think
direction.
I think the common
It's
person,
super hard when you see the shit happening every day. You're like,
it is.
It is. I think the regular common person believes in all the things that this country is supposed to stand for more than not. And I think when you have people that don't agree, because this country is far more diverse than any other. You know, and that's what we thrive on. Like that's literally in our constitution, was no matter religious or ethnical background. I can't remember exactly how it says, but it's every man deserves liberty and justice
for all.
Yeah. So and this country was founded, I believe, on strong values. And you can argue, oh, this land was stolen, all land has been stolen by whatever fucking country is on there. I mean, in every country, whatever government or whatever, it's that you think that all this land, like everywhere, was that particular person's land all the time throughout history? No, it wasn't. Like United, like Wales and Ireland and shit, like, or is it Ireland, Wales? It's not Ireland. Scotland are under the UK, right? They fall under UK, United Kingdom. They didn't want to be United Kingdom. They didn't want to be under British law. They didn't want to submit to the king and queen or whatever, however, you know, so they stole that land and now they pay into the royals. So yeah, I think it's fucked up how like the natives were treated when the colonists came over, but I do think the greater good of the like the purpose of this country was, I think that was what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I am sucking at words today. I think it was I think it was a good, the purpose of this country was a good thing. It was supposed to be religious freedom and you know, all that, you know, liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
I feel like I'm trying to say like really good things, and then as I'm talking, I'm just like, this speech is sucking.
No, you did a good job, man. You did a good job for sure.
Oh man. I find this whole like weather thing like really interesting, and people still don't believe in the chemtrails when we look at them every day.
Well, you were talking about Operation Popeye.
Yeah.
And I did a little looking because it sounds kind of nuts to me, but I checked into it, and they did use a chemical to cloud seed the air. Like it can't be blank, right? There's got to be some sort of saturation in the air, and so they use this like cloud seeding chemical, and it actually dropped 35 inches of rain.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Yeah, it was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they did
so-
it several times. And I don't know. I just finished watching Forrest Gump last night, not for the first time, but we're just watching it.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, and my dad was in Vietnam, so he actually backed this up. There's a scene in there where Forrest gets there, it's dry, or whatever, it's hot, and then the rain season happens, and it's 4 months straight of rain. 4 months straight. And my dad said, yeah, there was a rainy season, and it just don't quit raining. Day and night, day and night, day and night.
Yeah.
So does that play into what was going on? I guess it did, right?
A little bit. Because I mean their monsoon season goes for a while to begin with. But what they cloud seeded to prolong it. I don't know exactly like the exact length and time of their monsoon season,
but it worked.
Yeah, it did work.
And you guys know who Michio Kaku is?
No.
Who?
So Michio Kaku is he's a scientist, a theoretical physicist.
Okay.
And he's pretty famous. You've probably seen his face. He's an Asian scientist, and he actually came on CBS on the news and was talking about this. And there's a video out there. I saw this video. Yeah. He actually came out and said, scientists have been using lasers and shooting them into the air, 1 trillion watt lasers to seed and create rain and what have you. And it's and they don't want to say, he didn't want to say like, yeah, we're doing it now. Mm-hmm. He says we've used it in the laboratory and it works. So
yeah.
Theoretically it does work, and we've been testing it and it's been great. And after that, you don't hear nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like
that video is pretty old. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. It was like on a morning show or some random shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's a correspondent apparently, working for them. And it's just that blew my mind. Have y'all heard of HARP?
Yeah.
You've heard of HARP? It's crazy. I was just looking that up. High frequency active auroral research program. And there's one in Alaska. So it's basically these antennas that are laid out over all these acreage, like just everywhere. They actually use that, and they send up this like signal into the air, goes up 30 miles, what have you. And it's like it's also seeding. Now, what's interesting is it's not the only one. There's some in the UK. There's some in Mexico. There's some, and they think that they're using this to alter certain weather patterns. And I really wish they would make it cooler in San Antonio, because it's hot as hell over here. Or maybe they're making it hotter. I don't know. Because I don't ever remember it being.
I think they're doing that. They're making it unbearable on purpose.
It is really the worst, man.
I think
I can't take it.
I do think that a lot of the purpose for weather modification is to perpetuate the climate change narrative. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to make it seem like the weather is changing on purpose, or the climates are changing, you know, and it is.
It's noticeable.
Well, it's just like pretty much all of August up here is usually 80s, 90s. I mean, it was like 60s and 70s up here. And meanwhile, you guys are fucking roasting your asses off down there. You know, it's really weird. Like it's usually like it's hot today, and it was hot yesterday. But it's been like borderline 70, like just like not any higher than 75 up here for like the whole month of August, just about, which is really fucking weird for August for here. Yeah. Usually like end of July, beginning of August is usually our hottest time. And then we're like hit with humidity, like so bad. Not like Florida humidity, but it's still fucking humid as fuck.
Sucks. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
When did it start cooling down for you guys? When did it start cooling down for you, Kevin?
Usually end of September it starts cooling down is when it's supposed to.
It takes about 2 weeks into October, sometimes the third week in October, when it actually gets down into like the 80s.
Oh shit.
Yeah. How about you guys in Florida?
We don't get cool down.
You get at least a weather change. Like you get more of a season.
Yeah.
Down here, there is no season. Like
it's just hot all the time.
It's just straight up hot.
I mean, like sometimes, like
hot
in January, there's a couple days where the breeze picks up a little bit, and it's like almost want to put a jacket on, but I I don't own a hoodie since I moved down here. I just don't, because you
I
don't
got
need
one for you right here.
I don't need
Dude,
one.
I love hoodies and stuff like that. Like I'll have some, but I never wear it ever because I can't.
I mean,
It
at least
sucks.
it does get. I mean, there have been some Thanksgiving and Christmases where it's in the 90s. That's happened before.
Yeah.
But every once in a while it gets cold, and I always look forward to that, especially the fall. I love the fall, man.
I love fall too. So is Florida gonna be fucking hot when I come down in like 4 weeks?
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet.
Nice and muggy.
Sweet. You weren't here when I was discussing my Airbnb that I got. It's has a rooftop pool and a rooftop bar that I'm pretty excited about. And you can see the beach and the ocean from the roof.
Wait, you're coming down exactly when? The 11th still? Or no?
I should be arriving on the 8th.
And then like
Yeah, so I should get there Sunday afternoon on the 8th, and then I'm leaving the 14th.
Are you leaving Saturday? What
Yeah.
time? Why?
Because it takes 2 days to drive back up here.
Oh, okay.
You're driving?
I don't know. I thought you were.
I'm driving. My son is
Okay.
scared to fly, so I have to drive.
You bringing the kids?
Yep.
I get them.
Nice, man. Nice.
Where did you rent? Don't tell me South Beach. You were in South Beach. Really?
I think it might have been Mid Beach. Hold
Okay.
on. Well, I'll just after we're recording,
Do
I'll look
that
at,
after.
I'll look at it and then I'll tell you. But the place that I got was it looked pretty fucking sweet, and there was other places that were a lot more sweeter, but they were fucking 10 times more expensive, which I could have afforded it, but I was like, you know, am I even gonna be really there that much?
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably gonna be out all day, so why does it really matter where I stay? But having the pool is pretty cool. My kids love staying places that have pools. So even though the beach is right there, they're not gonna really swim in the beach. I mean, I've never really. I mean, I like to jump with the sit there and wait for the wave, and I'll go. But I'm also 230 fucking pounds.
Do you know how to
so,
swim?
like it just, I do know how to swim.
Okay.
Why? Is that
Rip
weird?
currents and shit? No. A lot of people don't know how to swim rip currents.
All right.
Some guy just drowned by me at the dog beach because of a rip current. People really don't like it.
Like that shit is serious, dude. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Be careful,
well, now
man.
I don't want to go in the fucking ocean.
Don't go in the ocean. Stay out of the ocean.
Go to the
There's
ocean. Just go to a
alligators.
safe place.
There's fucking gators in the ocean. There's fucking
Gators don't bother
stingrays.
you down here. There a lot of people, like before I moved down here, they were a much bigger problem than they actually are.
And then there's skunk apes in the Everglades.
I haven't seen one of those either, but
And then
Hey,
there's
really
pythons.
quick, do you guys remember in the Beijing Olympics that they modified that weather too to make it nice and clear?
oh
I
yeah, because they were
just
supposed to get
saw
a
something
storm.
about that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then it fucking rained like crazy afterwards.
Yeah, well, China is like the biggest weather modifier weather modifier in the fucking world right now. Like they're not only are they the heaviest polluter, they love modifying their weather. And
With pollution.
I think it was 1968 was when the countries all like agreed to be like, all right, we're not gonna, do weather warfare. But how would anybody know that weather warfare was being done? Because it's technically the weather.
Can't prove it, right?
Yeah,
right.
there's no proving that another country decided to cloud seed or modify the weather somewhere else. But it's highly documented that China loves weather modification.
Yeah.
Which is wicked interesting, and supposedly they think that China has something to do with Hawaii, but also I think our government does, because mainly because of the smart city, and now they're like they're not even allowing there's residents down there, like National Guard. I think there's somebody that I know has a cousin or something that is based on Hawaii, and they won't let the military over there, or they might have by now, but they wouldn't at first to go like and give aid to the people from the fires. So I think it's super interesting. And then like I said, the blue thing, there's a car that's fucking completely engulfed and that had been engulfed. It's all fucking fucked up. Windshield, all the glass in it's broken down. The fucking tires are melted. And then there's a blue car sitting right next to it, completely fine. Like it's been heated up for sure, but it still has all its windows. It's still perfectly fine. Fucking tires are fine. So I find that interesting. And then
you know how
you saw the pictures of that restaurant with the fucking blue umbrellas, everything around it's fucking burnt to shit except for the umbrellas.
Yes, that was crazy.
That's
it's a terrible thing,
weird.
but I have to applaud the precision they're using. That's pretty effective stuff. They're able to do it.
Yeah,
it's horrible. It's horrible.
It is. And the body toll, the death toll is a lot higher than what they're telling us, is also something that I heard coming from a lot of the residents down there. So and TikTok's not regulated, so in a lot of the TikToks that I've seen about Maui are from people in Maui, not just people speculating or conspiracy theorists. Also, they're making the fucking frogs gay.
All right, Alex.
That's been proven.
I was like, what you said?
It's been proven. It's been proven though. It's been proven.
Don't drink the water. Yeah, there was
just so you know, it's been proven. So
I hate to be the guy that had to go and research that.
I know, right?
Just Google it. You'll see it.
Just checking out all these frogs. There's a gay bar and they're all over there. What the hell? It worked.
Be a gay lily pad.
And Obama's gay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you're really not gonna go on YouTube. Good job.
That's the worst thing you can say about that guy. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not even a bad thing, like, so I don't understand why he's trying to cover it up so hard. Being gay is not a terrible thing. You're just a person and you like what you like, man. Nobody cares what you do behind closed doors as long as you're not hurting people, and especially children.
I don't care what you do with open doors, though, as long as you're not
some people
kids with it. And
some people do it with open doors. That's correct. There's some people that do it right out in public. So
free love, man.
All right. So you guys have anything else you want to add? I think we've covered an hour, so that's pretty cool. That's a applause. We made it an hour.
Little buddy made it an hour.
Oh my God, I forgot you were holding that thing.
I keep looking down, like he's so cute. He's sleeping.
So I'm still haven't sent you your shirt, Amanda, but I will be sending it soon, just so you know.
No worries.
And Jen, obviously, I'm bringing the t-shirts to you. So I guess I could, if Amanda, if you still wanted to like meet up or whatever when I'm down there, I could probably just bring the shirt for you too.
Oh, okay. So the rooftop bar thing wasn't an invitation. That was just, you were just telling me about it.
Well, you can come to the rooftop bar. Yeah, we could all hang out at the rooftop bar.
Man,
and I'm allowed visitors.
Heck yeah.
So there's a certain time, I think it's like 10 p.m. to like 8 a.m. that I can't have visitors.
Fun does expire.
Yeah, which is really stupid.
That sounds amazing though. I would not mind going. Mind going.
Oh, hey, anybody interested in going to Kentucky in November?
What's going on there?
CryptidCon, bruh.
Oh.
Dude. I've always wanted to go to Kentucky.
Kentucky has a lot of good abandoned shit.
Also. Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I wanted to share something with you that happened last week that I already told Amanda about.
Okay.
I had just done cryptid warfare, and the subject was Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam. Yeah, I listened to that.
Man, that was a great show. I really enjoyed hanging out with those guys. And it was about a week and a half later. I was doing rideshare. I do rideshare on the side, and I picked up a military guy. I'm not gonna say what branch, but he was kind of a special ops guy. still active. And we had a great conversation. We're just, talking about Americans and the shit we do, and we don't care about other countries, metric system, fuck that stuff. We're just laughing our asses off on that.
Yeah.
We're the only country, I don't know if you know this, but we're talking about this. A friend of mine, a hiker on Instagram, Amanda.
Yeah, I love her.
I sent her a picture of my dogs. I just happened to be inside, and my dogs were at my feet, so that she saw my shoes on my feet inside, and she was like, why are you wearing shoes in the house? And I was like, what are you talking about? Who doesn't? I thought the only countries were like Asian countries that took their shoes off. And she looked it up, and apparently we're the only country that walks in the house with our shoes on. Every other country takes their shoes off when they go inside.
I take my shoes off.
I'm wearing shoes.
Do you really? I don't.
I take my shoes off and throw them right in the fucking shoe rack right as soon as I walk in.
Me and this guy were laughing at this.
Y'all must have carpet.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't have
hardwood floor.
No.
Fuck that.
Yeah. And so this guy told me, he goes, I'm never going to see you again. He says, so let me tell you something. He said, and this kind of freaked me out a little bit because it's weird that I picked up a military guy that was willing to say things. And so he came up and he said, we have this device that can control the emotions in people.
Yes, they do. And they've been using it for a long time.
Exactly what he said. He goes, we've been using it for a long time. And I asked him, because I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, it's about the size of a tank. We drop it in. When we get there, it reaches 1,000 hearts. This is the way he put it. I guess that's a military speak.
Mm-hmm.
And they get terrified immediately. Like they don't have any control over that. They're just terrified. And if you think about Iraq, do you remember when we went into Iraq?
Mm-hmm.
How they just gave up? Like they just quit. And they had just finished fighting I don't know how long the war was against Iran and Iraq, but like 10 years at least, and there was no quit in them. Mm-hmm. No quit in them. But when we went in there, they just gave up. And I asked him that. I said, did we use it then? And he just went, yeah. He didn't say yes. He didn't blah, 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 nothing. He goes, yeah. As a matter of fact, he said, we use it in riots now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then he said, he went further, and I was like, holy shit. He said that we have alien technology, and we've been using that. We have stuff that you would not believe, and we use it. Sometimes I have to go out, and it's got to be in like someplace. I'm there at 2 a.m. Me and my team, we're going to do a job, and we take care of business. We wipe out what needs to be wiped out, and it's done. And we don't lose. And we don't blah, blah. I was like, holy shit. Then as soon as he got out, he was just about to get out, and he looked me in the eye. He said, man, you were great. Thanks so much for the conversation. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tip you, blah, blah, blah. He goes, also, Project Bluebeam is real. And then he left. I was like,
yeah.
So I don't know what, because I honestly, when I was reading about it, I did a lot of research on it. I'm like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. There's something what we could do is we can definitely, if you can alter a hologram, if there's a device to alter, then we should definitely do that when it comes out, right? If it actually comes out. And this guy comes out and says that. I'm like, I just talked about this on a podcast like a week and a half ago. I told him, and he was like, it's real. Then he walked out.
But you didn't mention it before that? Like you did
not mention it. We were talking American stuff, and he was, what was interesting is he was kind of disillusioned about the government because he had lost so many friends doing this stuff, and he's dying to get out. He has a few more years to go, and he can get out of active duty. But he's ready to get out. He's got family. He's got, that he wants to spend time with, and just came out and said it, man.
Yeah.
Could not believe it.
That same thing has the technology to induce suicidal thoughts and heart attacks.
Yeah. Isn't that shocking?
And they've used it on many people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they gave fucking Jimmy Buffett cancer so he could die at 76. Because 7 plus 6 equals 13, and they love 13 and 33. So
I think that Margaritaville is definitely going to be a lot more profitable now that he's dead. People are going to come pay their respects.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So somebody else owns that then now. or did own that before.
Island's for sale now. It's so sad.
And so same with Maui. Like there's like fucking Oprah's just buying up all this land. But
I've never liked Oprah, man.
Please, you plain people, you regular people that are just trying to get by with your 9-to-5s, please send money to Maui, even though I'm taking up the majority of the island. It's fucking, oh my God.
Donate her land to people, right?
Yeah, I don't like her either, especially when she was talking about how 9-year-olds like to be sexual. Like that was weird to me.
What the hell? Damn.
Yes, and in her show.
Yeah, she was talking about it in her show. She's like, a 9-year-old doesn't understand that they just know that it feels good. So I was like, what the fuck?
God, are you talking about? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I know that she doesn't give any money to her family. I know that.
Nope.
They're on their own.
Yep.
I mean, if I ever hit it, if I ever strike it rich, I hit the lottery or anything, my family's taken care of. You guys are taken care of. I'm going to take care of everybody, man. She don't take care of nobody, yo. Yeah. We're all going to meet too. That's why this person.
Acres.
We're going to meet somewhere and we're going to party. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
On Kevin's rooftop.
On my rooftop.
Okay, well, I got
mine. It's not mine, but you know what I mean.
I have a month to win that lottery.
All right, guys. Real quick, just let everybody know where they can find you. We'll start with Amanda.
One Nothing Podcast on all platforms and most social medias.
Jen.
305 Paranormal on IG, TikTok, and YouTube. And Mr. 305 for
yeah, can't forget Mr. 305. I love you.
He probably heard you.
And David?
Yeah, it's Down the Rabbit Hole on Instagram and Facebook. I also have a merch shop, DeeperDown.store, and you can find it on Etsy as well. And that's it.
Nice. And I am Where the Weird Ones Are. Obviously, you probably already know that if you're listening to this. So if you have a story you want to talk conspiracies, it's wheretheweirdonesare@gmail.com, where_the_weird_ones are on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, so I am very easy to reach, most active on Instagram. Also, check out the etsy.com/shop/wheretheweirdonesare. I got a couple neat designs, including my logo. So there's a bunch of different colors, t-shirts, different color logos. So check it out.
I got the black and red one. It's awesome.
Yes. You look good in it too, man. You look good in it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And so yeah, that's the best way to support the show. Other than that, like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that shit. That's a good way to support the show. If you enjoyed the topic, or if you even if you have opposing views, you want to talk about opposing my views, that's totally fine. The earth is flat. That's what I think. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that. I do find that topic extremely intriguing. So that's the only thing. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, whatever time you decide to listen to this. And as always, stay weird.
They were talking about climate change yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they did not get into this discussion, though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really, to change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far, it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
So what does it mean for drought areas that need to have rain for crops? And if they don't have them, there's the consequences of famine.
Well, the bad news is if it's a clear blue sky, it's not going to do anything at all because it only takes water vapor that's already in the air and condenses it. However, for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
Incredibly interesting, Professor Michio Kaku. Thank you so much.